Our top stories tonight. New Zealand makes $2 million pledge for the Now Trust. Minister Tatui at ICANN meet in Rwanda. And highlights from Haku Village. Good evening and welcome to our BCN News Bulletin. I'm Mersa Takala. A special whakalofa atu to our viewers from across the region thanks to our partners at Pacifica TV. Leading our news tonight, New Zealand made a big announcement last week during Prime Minister Christopher Luxon's visit with a $2 million pledge for the Now Trust, a public-private partnership aimed at developing a resilient blue economy to ensure long-term ocean conservation and management. Niue Oceanwide Trust Now project manager Brendan Pasisi says they are very grateful as the contribution is an important one to the Now Trust.
Very happy and very appreciative and grateful to the announcement by the Prime Minister of New Zealand as well as the High Commissioner for the signing ceremony that we had, and obviously the people of New Zealand as well. The contribution is a very important one. Obviously the work of the Now Trust and setting that up, it helps us to establish that.
New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon also commented on the $2 million pledge.
It's very intrigued by the proposal and the idea, and so New Zealand has contributed, I think, over $2 million, just on $2 million to the Now Trust, as I call it, and the reason is that we actually we think it's a good vehicle. It's a really interesting, creative idea. Niue has been at the forefront of it, and we really back it. And so, those funds will enable, the administration of that trust and those monies, and make sure there's good processes in place around all of that. And so, it's a great initiative, I think. Yeah, really great initiative.
Pasisi also shared on the plans on the conservation for the future.
That, the due diligence has been done. They're confident that this is an organisation and an initiative set up for Niue and for the people of Niue that really does have very strong, well-based plans and in supporting conservation, sustainable management and development, climate change, resilience, helping us build a blue economy, both now and well into the future.
New Zealand is the first bilateral partner to provide funding to the Now Trust with the hope that their commitment is the catalyst for others to invest. New Zealand's support is part of the Climate and Biodiversity Smart Marine Special Planning Initiative for the Pacific region. Meanwhile, the New Zealand Prime Minister also commented on the concerns about the declining population on the island and whether New Zealand will continue to support Niue if the population issue does not improve. Prime Minister Luxon was clear that New Zealand will remain committed to Niue and will help with infrastructure to encourage Niueans overseas to return.
Met people who had just returned literally 5 weeks ago to resettle here. People that had been living, for example, in Auckland and had come back here through the COVID period and stayed ever since and absolutely love it. And so I think there is a new generation of young people and young leaders that actually want to step up and actually make a contribution to this community, are coming back with skills and some vision and some ambition and aspiration. So I think that's the trick, isn't it? To build a great country where people can say, I can raise a family here, I can make a contribution to my community, and I can get ahead if I work hard.
The new ambassador of Japan to Niue, His Excellency Makoto Osawa, presented his credentials to Premier Dalton Tangilangi last Friday. In a media release by the Niue government, it states that though his visit was short, Ambassador Osawa had the opportunity to conduct a series of meetings with Minister Anui and Temporary Minister of Social Services Maureen Melikitama. He was also present at the Haku Show Day last Saturday. Such engagements reflect the importance of fostering relationships not only within the Pacific, but also with key international partners. Premier Tangilangi said they were committed to continuing their relationship with Japan, and he looks forward to further dialogue when he attends the 10th Pacific Islands Leaders Meeting in Tokyo next month. Minister Crossley Tatui over the weekend delivered an intervention during a session of the Internet Cooperation for Assigned Names and Numbers, commonly known as ICANN, convened a policy forum in Kigali, Rwanda. Stakeholders attending from around the world included representatives from government, businesses, civil society, academia, and the technical community.
The meeting called ICANN 80 Forum is led by ICANN's Governmental Advisory Committee and chaired by Rwanda's Minister of ICT and Innovation. The agenda included promoting governmental engagement and fostering effective collaboration to align and enhance global internet governance efforts. This is part of Minister Crossley Tatui's intervention on day one of the forum.
Thank you, Moderator, and also the panel. Honourable Ministers, dear representatives of ICANN, and distinguished guests, it is a great honour and a pleasure for me to speak here today, representing the government of Niue from the blue Pacific continent. As a remote island, Niue depends heavily on reliable internet access and internet governance. Over the past 10 years, despite limited resources, Niue has finalized the advancement from satellite internet connection to underwater fiber internet connection by the Pacific Cable Network, transforming Niue into an up-to-date part of the global internet community. The Manitoba Cable project, in combination with the domestic connectivity network, constitutes the largest infrastructure development ever in Niue for the local internet community, as well as for Niue as a part of the global internet community. It is an indispensable investment for the future technical and economic development of Niue. The developments over the past 10 years highlight the significance of effectively managing Niue's top-level domain name .nu in a manner that benefits both the local and global internet community. According to Niue law, the domain name is considered a national asset and has been so for 24 years. The current ICANN designated manager trustee of the domain name has not assisted Niue with the infrastructure developments, is not communicating with the government of Niue, and is not managing the domain name .nu in the interest of either the local or global internet community.
The four-day forum aims to foster international collaboration and set the stage for future developments in internet governance. Meanwhile, the Niue government's case before the Swedish courts continues in its attempts to claim the high-level .nu domain name. BCN News hopes to speak with Minister Tatui upon his return to the island next week on the update regarding .nu domain. Esther Pavihi for BCN News.
A team from the Pacific Justice Sector program in New Zealand were on the island in the past 2 weeks. The program is a bilateral program supported by the New Zealand Ministry of Justice and funded by AMFAT and delivers services to the courts, the legal professions and the judiciary system. Here's more with Esther Pavihi.
Program Director of Pacific Justice Sector Program, Toli Sanganga, says that part of their program is focused on delivering training for land commissioners and JPs to improve their decision-making skills in court.
We are the Pacific Justice Sector program, so it's a New Zealand government aid development program that is set in the Office of the Chief Justice in New Zealand. And so we service 15 Pacific countries, and Niue obviously is one of them, especially that it's one of the realm countries of New Zealand, so we have that special relationship. Our visit to Niue this week and last week was to deliver some training to the land commissioners and the JPs to improve their decision-making skills when they're in court.
In a statement, the Secretary of Justice, Darren Tohovaka, expressed gratitude to the team, stating that efforts in helping to develop a professional plan for the judiciary is instrumental in ensuring the continued judicial practices in Niue.
Within speaking to the police, and they've indicated that they go out to the village council to share information on the new laws that have come out. I think one of the examples is the infringement laws, and so they've gone to the village to share what that's about and what the consequences of those infringements result in. So it's outreaching to the communities, making sure that they are aware of what their rights are, and hopefully be able to have more knowledge of what the justice sector is about, and then have more trust in how the justice sector works in the judiciary.
She also explained the various courses are provided by the University of the South Pacific and scholarships available as well.
USP, they offer a certificate of justice course as well as a diploma of justice course. At the moment we are offering scholarships to court staff as well as the lay justices to undertake this course. It helps them understand more about the court systems and hopefully to try and improve their ways of working in the court.
The Pacific Justice Sector Program is one of the New Zealand government's programs to help support good governance across the Pacific region. Esther Pavihi for BCN News.
And a road update from China Railway First Group. Pending on good weather, work will continue tomorrow, Friday, June 14th, for the slurry seal work in Alofi North Village Hall area, heading north to Haku Village. Roads will be half-closed with restricted access. Residents are also reminded to make arrangements to park their vehicles on the other side of the road to avoid driving on the new seal surface. North traffic traveling to Alofi are allowed only in the morning from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and only for Alofi traffic traveling north in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. with buses, residents, and essential workers exempted. Other road users are asked to use alternative routes and avoid the area as possible. All road users are asked to slow down and be aware of heavy machinery operating in the area. You can call 4297 or 4644 for any queries. The Paravet Summer School training is currently underway on the island, which is a build-up from the launch and orientation that was held last year in October. Here's more on this story. Pacific Communities Pacific Heads of Veterinarian and Animal Production Services Coordinator Eleanor Salele says the Paravet Summer School training is a 16-week course.
So the Paravet Summer School training that we're having this week here in Niue, this is a build-up from the launch and orientation we had in October last year here in Niue. So this is a 16-week course, and after the 16 weeks, the participants undergo a summer school.
The training is in collaboration with the New Zealand Ministry of Primary Industries, Animal Health and Biosecurity Pacific Partnership team and the Niue Rock Vets team.
Formalising some of the skills that these guys already have, because a lot of the team have worked closely with pigs and poultry, but some of the things that we've done, we've learned how to collect samples, so the team can collect blood samples and swabs for working out what diseases are present.
About 9 participants are part of the summer school that will become certified paravets after completion.
After this summer school, on the final day of the summer school week, the paravets go through a practical exam and also a written exam, and after that they're assessed as well. And once the results are released, they become certified paravets on the ground, which means they are able to treat sick animals, diagnose sick animals.
The training is funded by the European Union through the Safe Agriculture Trade Facilitation through Economic Integration in the Pacific project. To date, 465 individuals from across the SPC member countries have graduated from the program. With over 19 years of contribution to education and having an integral role in the establishment of the first Niue language bilingual unit at Favono School in South Auckland, Niuean-born Letuala Mali Etoa Lin Pavihi is one of 2 Niueans who have been recognized in this year's King's Birthday Honours for their services to Pacific communities across New Zealand. In an interview via Zoom, Lin Pavihi explains it came as a huge surprise after receiving the news via email of being awarded a New Zealand Order of Merit for services to Pacific education. Speaking to BCN News, the Associate Principal of Favona School in Auckland is grateful for the recognition and those that recommended her for the award.
But I want to acknowledge those people who put forward my name, and I know it was more than one person. I want to acknowledge them for thanking, for putting forward my name and having me as one of the nominations, one of the names to be nominated for the award. I know it's the name next to the New Zealand Order of Merit is my name, but the work that I do wasn't just on my own. And I say that with, a lot of love and appreciation to my wider village, to the many people who have, those champions, our ancestors who paved the way many generations ago.
Pavihi is amongst 9 Pacific Islanders recognized in this year's King's Birthdays Honours List. She added how crucial it is to protect and preserve our Vangahau language, especially for our young people. She is grateful for all the support from her 2 children, family, and the wider community that have been there throughout the years for her. Prominent Pacific people in the arts, health, and education are among the 176 recipients for this year's King's Birthdays Honours. And just an update from our Niue Cultural Group at the first week of the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, currently held in Hawaii. In the official Meta Kau Tufunga Niue Festpac Facebook page, the group attended a church service and dinner on Sunday, hosted by the mayor at the Bishop Museum grounds. On Monday, the group had a performance at the Polynesian Cultural Center. The group has been performing in various venues, including the festival. Follow the official page for all the latest updates. The closing ceremony will be held this Sunday at the UH Moana Sheriff Center. People showed up in numbers at one of the largest village show days last Saturday. The Hakupu Annual Village Show Day brought out families and tourists who took advantage of the many varieties of food and handicrafts available at the tents. The Hakupu community held a flag-raising ceremony as well as serenading the crowd with a song. Niue Premier Dalton Tangilangi, New Zealand High Commissioner, and the Australian High Commissioner were also present. Japan's ambassador to New Zealand in Niue was also present at the show day. New Zealand's High Commissioner, His Excellency Mark Gibb, was impressed with the Hakupu Show Day, reflecting on the community spirit.
Can I acknowledge Premier Dalton Tangilangi, the Honourable Speaker Douglas, members of the Assembly, and in particular can I acknowledge young Vivian here with us today. A really special moment to see you participate in the flag raising, sir. I think that just added some poignancy to this morning's celebrations, poignancy to our commemorations here today. But look, most of all, can I acknowledge the Village Council who've pulled together an amazing day for us, amazing range of kiosks and produce for sale, an amazing atmosphere actually. And for me as a diplomat, I've got to be really careful. I can't say which is the best village show day. I've got to be really careful. All I can acknowledge is that this is a very impressive village show day that I've been here to today. I know we've had a really interesting week. I've had the Prime Minister of New Zealand here for 2 days. I know he left with a real sense of the community spirit that Niue demonstrates and offers. And I think here today we've got a real evidence of that demonstrators for us all. So can I thank everyone for the effort you've put in to today, the amount of produce that's for sale. Thanks for keeping those crayfish tucked away over there for me. I won't tell anyone else where they are. I know where they are. Okay, so just keep it our secret. But a really impressive day, lots of produce, a day for enjoyment, a day for families to be out and about. And so I'm really pleased to be here, to be able to enjoy it. I'm pleased to be here to enjoy this special occasion this morning with that flag raising ceremony. I think that was really poignant. So thank you very much to everyone. Do have an enjoyable day. I know I'm going to. And as I say, don't tell anyone where the crayfish are. Okay? Thank you.
Meanwhile, Australia's High Commissioner Katie Stewart spoke about the children and how in the future they will recall the significance of the show day.
Can I acknowledge with thanks the invitation to this incredible day? As Australia's representative in Niue, it's a huge honour. I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Dalton Tangilangi, young Vivian, and thank you so much to the Village Council. I'd like to acknowledge the member for Hakupu and members of Parliament. I'd also, as Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, like to especially welcome His Excellency from Japan, Ohayo gozaimasu, and also His Excellency from New Zealand and Elizabeth. One thing I really noticed today, and also apologies, Speaker, looking around at children trying to get on the quad bike, amazed at the size of the taro, the diversity of pineapples, watermelons, and numerous unga. I think about 50 years ago, was this what children were also observing at the Hakupu show day? And looking forward in another 50 years, will those children be sitting here as people are today at the Hakupu show day and thinking back to the memories they had trying to find their favourite food at the different stalls? That's an incredible experience, I think, to give to children, and they are our future. So I'd like to thank everyone at the Hakupu show day and all the effort that you've put into to bring everybody together, and it's a huge honour to be here. Thank you so much. In the 50th year of self-governance, it's wonderful to see the celebrations of past, present, and looking to the future.
There were many other speeches on the day from the elders of the village, including Harry Jackson, who came from New Zealand especially for the show. He spoke about the history of the village, available taonga for the young generation of Hakupu Atua. The next annual village show day will be for the village of Alofi South next month. And finally, on our feature segment tonight, BCN News had an opportunity to tour the only solar-powered home on the Rock over the weekend. A story of risk-taking and coming back after living and working in New Zealand for years is what couple Ati and Kemu Misiepo set out to do back in 2015. Here's more on this story. If you happen to pass along the Alofi stretch of road, then the Misiepo's well-designed solar-powered off-the-grid home is one that grabs your attention as you're driving by. BCN News had a chance to tour their beautiful home over the weekend as the couple shared more on their decision to come back to the Rock and build their home, even though it took a while to convince wife Ati to come back and settle.
But when I came here, she don't want to come back to Niue. And I said, look, what happened if New Zealand said every island people have to go to where they come from or whatever? Where are you going to go? But never mind. Then that's where we decided we come to build a house. And to achieve the house that we built, it just come to hard work.
Even though having a solar-powered home was not in the plans when they first started building their home, the idea came about when there were challenges of setting up power and water supply in their area.
That is the first challenge, because when we went to inquire to have the cable, to bring the cable here for our home, it is so much cost attached to it. At the time we have the means to do it, but we don't believe justifying paying that amount of money just to get the cable here. So he said to me, I said to him, think with our feet. I think we need to think again what we're going to do. So it came out of the blue, the solar.
Eti spoke on some of the advantages of having a solar-powered home, which includes not paying for power. The home took about 1 year to complete before they moved in 2017.
The beauty of having a solar, and you look around, one is, like he said, we don't have to pay any power for it. But also you have this ability to control what you have. But also it adds values to the environment. You're not polluting the environment, which is one of the things that we need to be mindful of as the emission in here. Hence reason also I thought of that. But like he said to me, what do you know about solar? I said, nothing, we just have to take risks. And I think that this is sometimes that we need to take risks. But it's also looking and weighing up the costs.
The couple says having proper planning and finances is crucial to building a home such as theirs, and it's a lifestyle and investment they worked hard to achieve.
If you wanted to build something like this is not something that we just thought yesterday and we're going to do it. Firstly, finance, and that's the key to it. It's no good having money and you don't know what to do with it. Some people just get up and say, I've got the money to plan, but when they get here and something happens, the money doesn't cover that. So you have to work it out, plan it really well, and have the financial backing that you can.
They believe that anyone can achieve a lifestyle like theirs, as the Misiapo's motto in life is to work together and work smart, compromise and negotiate. And that's our news bulletin for tonight. You can join us for our Wangahau Bulletin next Tuesday. Until then, good evening.